Konnichiwa everyone, welcome to the land of the rising sun. We are back for day 2 of ALR here in the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Fantastic Suzuka, Super Suzuka. Oh, it's a special place, isn't it? The Japanese Grand Prix is. And we are moments away then for the start of qualifying then for silver. And also maybe a start of a very special day for Renault, as they could potentially wrap up 3 titles in before we've even got to the good old US of A. That's absolutely amazing, isn't it, to say the least. Of course, the gold championships have all been done and dusted now. Emerson, the double world champion now for gold, and we have also got... of course, Renault, the 3-time World Constructors Championships as well there. In silver then tonight, we could have Troy, who will be on the cusp then of making history, becoming the 3rd ever Silver World Champion as well. He's going to be the 2nd earliest then to win the title here at round 18 then. This is a historic place, isn't it, for where drivers wrap up the championship. Remember, you've had Senna and Mansell clashing in 89, then we also had again at Senna and Prost also crashing back in 1990 as well, when there was a major dispute, wasn't there, over where what side of pole position was meant to be on then back in 1990. But the only figure of 8 track on the calendar, and let's take a look at the history of this circuit, shall we? Glock has got the fastest lap, the all-time lap record around here back in season 1 of a 1:30.381. Lap times last night then was almost 5 seconds quicker from gold. Silver is not as slow. Silver's not that slow, are they? So I think that we're going to be smashing that lap record tonight. German had the fastest ever lap around here in silver competition of a 1:26.181. That was pole position last season. But the race winner was the first time. Cyrus Musher took the Grand Prix in fine style, didn't he? Where Liam chased him right to the very edge. And Paulie Orange won his 3rd Grand Prix of his career in silver back in season 1, didn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed there for Paulie Orange. It's 3rd out of 4 race wins as well for Paulie Orange. Let's go through the drives and the constructors as well around this 18-turn circuit then before we get qualifying underway. Troy is a point away. Hang on a minute. Excuse me, I'll clear my throat. Troy is with Gamer not racing here tonight then. Basically, I think Troy is already crowned the champion. Well, he just needs 1 point really, and he's crowned the champion really. So that's basically what is out in front of Troy at the moment then. That'll be great. So indeed then Renault then. Goodness me then. Here wrapping up the champions at left, right and centre, and the Gamer in second position, 27 points in front of Nigel. Nigel is very much on a mission at the moment there to get that runner-up spot then. But he is dragging along with him New Potato, who's in 4th position. He is not starting the qualifying session, but he should be in for the race then. BP is also flying as well then. He's on fine. Vettel as well, 17 points away from New Potato. Serious Mushroom dropping down in position, as has Wilson as well. They're 6th and 7th there, 10 points behind BP, so very close indeed. Gordo's only at 9 points behind Wilson as well. 5 points. 4 points for Welsh Maldonado. It is very much nip and tuck, isn't it? Right from 3rd all the way down into 10th position. And I would say that all those drivers are still mathematically in with a chance of getting promoted to gold next season. So, yeah, there is a lot to play for in silver still. Do not go anywhere, folks and folkettes. This is going to get very interesting indeed then. Also, Jake the Slayer has made a valuable inroads after a great performance last week there in Russia. He has gone up 3 positions. He is now on 41 points. He is only about 10 points away from the drop zone still then. So even though he has elevated himself at the 15th in the championship, he is still very close to that then, isn't he? Bar's not racing again tonight then, and he is not helping himself in terms of survival. Young Tommy was robbed cruelly of defending his position last week, wasn't he, when we had some sessioning issues there, and unfortunately Young Tommy, who was on a fine form, wasn't he, in qualifying, he didn't get a chance to race, and we missed the start of the race as well, which wasn't good, was it? And Billet then, who I think who's really stepped up in the later couple of races there, very good stuff indeed there for Billet, and he has got himself back in the hunt then to potentially get himself into silver for a 2nd season perhaps then. Well done indeed there for Billet then. Good stuff, Fred. He's been It's been very impressive indeed then. No, well, we're going to lose one car in this first qualifying session as we've got a couple of drivers then just dropping out. Then Gordo saying he is first then. TK, hey pal, good evening TK. Hang on a minute as I've quickly got to sort me, oh there we go then. We got to Curly who is second fastest. We got Wilson saying good evening Wilson, as Gordo is scared, very scared indeed. Dylan, good evening Dylan. Cirrus Mushroom, evening all. Bradfield, good evening. Hello Bradfield. Young Tommy, evening lads and ladettes there. Gordo saying dry, Wilson saying dry as well. Formula moments, nope, no rain, no points for me. Dylan saying I swear to God there's going to be a wet race tomorrow for Bronson. I really hope not, goodness me. Yes, we're struggling to get down the circle. The essence when it's dry, my word. Cirrus Mushroom saying Bradfield retired. We meet at the back again, Mr. Bradfield. Then so we've also got Slayer asking how everyone is doing today. Of course I'm doing very well, Slayer. I hope you're well indeed. Then of course he'll be very happy. He's now 10 points above the relegation zone, as he doesn't want to be relegated to bronze, does he? We're 3 minutes into this qualifying session now, and we are just waiting for the first car to start. They're flying up. Then it is Steve who is the first driver for Alan Circus. Great to see Steve back in action. He's had a free race absence, Steve has, as he comes through the 130R as well, as Farfare is trying to initiate the night bot then. Good stuff indeed there for Farfare. He's also got a spanner next to his name as well. Brilliant stuff, Ben. So we got Steve coming across the lines. Right, I haven't gone through the Constructors. How rude of me. In the Constructors, this is how it is the state of play. Renault are leading the Constructors by 58 points then, as they are not going to be able to win the Constructors until the very least of Mexico. I think I foresee then. Well, no, probably not Mexico. Forget 1-2 here tonight, and they could win it in the United States Grand Prix. But let's see how it goes first, shall we? Mercedes in second position, and of course Mercedes really need some good points on the board, but it's only Slayer at the moment there, isn't it, with their team leader Gamer not racing again, and it's a major blows, isn't it, for the Mercedes team tonight. Ferrari are 86 points away from Mercedes, with Ferrari having a bit of a renaissance as of late, and FIFA BT back in action, good stuff indeed then, and also Nigel would like to get some more points. Racing Point have moved up into fourth position as well, with Alfa Romeo dropping down to fifth then. Racing Point is 17 points away from the top three. Alfa Romeo 17 points away from fourth position there. Williams are only 17 points away from sixth position. It's very nip and tuck. It's the Haas team have moved up into seventh then, 9 points away from the Williams team, but Red Bull are on board with one of them now. They're a point behind the Haas team then. McLaren in ninth then, AlphaTauri in 10th then. AlphaTauri won the last Grand Prix, didn't they? A very good performance indeed there from Banana Man, wasn't it, if I'm not very much mistaken. Oh, excuse me, I was just trying to take a breath at the wrong place there. Yeah, it was Banana pole position and the fat of pole position and the race win as well for Banana Man. That really helped the AlphaTauri then. And AlphaTauri's going to be, it's actually got it's got a couple of relatives there in their team tonight, then, haven't they? They've got Ayrton and Dan Murphy there. So good stuff indeed there. But unfortunately, Ayrton, you would think that with the two drivers that know each other very well there, Ayrton would tell Dan where he's put his keys. Unfortunately, Dan has lost his keys. He is not in qualifying. TK has gone fast at the moment then. Gordo is gone third fast on 27.5 at the moment now. 26.8 there, right from the get-go there. Very impressive stuff indeed there. Hashtag Tommy for president there. Go on Williams team with Mushroom and Tommy there. Good stuff indeed then. As a Bradfield Day, indeed we do indeed Mushroom. Looking forward to it. As yes indeed. Oh, lovely helmet design there from Gordo, just watching young Tommy as well, who has just set a time already on the board then. Ayrton, and of course the Ayrton name is quite synonymous with the Japanese fans, isn't it? Let's go on board with Ayrton as well, and he's got the very nice silver and red Michael Schumacher-esque helmet then for Ayrton design, and good 17 police put a wheel on the grass there, and the car just didn't want to turn in there, as the car was saying no way Pedro there for Ayrton, as he was asking a lot of the car, wasn't he, Ayrton, because across the line he's a second and a half slower than the rest of the field at the moment now for Ayrton, but he did make a mistake then as well, as Farfare's singing Postman Pat in the comments as well then. As got to say, I used to love Postman Pat when I was younger, of course, and his cat Jess as well. I can't believe it. Yeah, that's where most of the important information I lose, really, isn't it? Because I know stuff like that. But there you go. Ayrton there is on an in-lap bollocks, and we've had 6 cars to set a time at thus far then. 12 minutes to go in the session, and there's a McLaren right off, and that was Curly then, who was just checking out the scenery in the McLaren there. Curly is then. So So Curly is outside the top 10 money. He's in 11th position there. He's 10 points away from his fellow countrywoman, which is Maldonado, in 10th position there. And Curly's got the McLaren all dirty now, so he's going to have to give it a good old clean, isn't he? So here's Troy then, and Troy has got to, all he's got to do is score a point today, and he will be the world champion. And the only time he's not scored a point this season is in the British Grand Prix, in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Those are the only 2 times he hasn't not scored for Troy then, so really it's a very rare occurrence indeed, isn't it, for Troy? Welshman and others just popped herself up in the 2nd position. Good stuff indeed then, and Renault then could potentially be putting a finger on that Constructors trophy as well. But as I said, the Renault team cannot win it tonight, but really they need a 1-2 to have any hope in a chance to any hope then to win it in the United States Grand Prix. So Troy then comes out of the spoon corner then, and now powering up the hill as well then, as he is coming up in to the 130R as well then. Troy is, as we said, that he's on the cusp of becoming the world champion there for silver, the 3rd ever world champion as well. And he's had a fine season. Has 7 Grand Prix wins there. He's had 4 pole positions, 10 podium appearances as well from Troy. Magnificent stuff indeed. And in 17 Grand Prix he's only finished outside the points twice there. He goes fastest there, 3/10 of a second in front of TK. Good stuff, and what a way to start us off, Ben. Nigel is good, just coming up out of the S's as well. Then we're on board Nigel. I think that he is the furthest car around. He is indeed as he comes into the first Degna as well, and keeping it well with outside the track limits. And unfortunately, Nigel's had this bit of a bogey track for Nigel, isn't it, in these years in ALR. He made his debut for silver here last season, but unfortunately, I don't think he got past turn 1, did he? Both him and Emerson had a nightmare here last season, didn't they? And Nigel, I think, also came a cropper up this turn here as well in the gold race there. And Nigel also, this is the first race in ALR from my memory there where he got where it's him against Jonathan Cox, wasn't it, in that incredible season 1 race, the final showdown, wasn't it? The last race of season 1 was it, between Nigel and Jonathan as well. It was a great race, wasn't it? Nigel there finished, I think he finished 2nd on that day in history. And it was a very low count of drivers that finished that race. It was quite a high attrition rate, wasn't it? Accelerating out of the final turn as well, Nigel, as he goes at 5th fast at the moment there, in between Steve and young Tommy. He is 100th of a second away from Steve at the moment. And here comes Curly then. I love the helmet, by the way, from Curly. That's a beautiful colours there, black and pink. And goodness me, Bret Hart kind of colours there. Good stuff indeed. Curly goes 4 fast, and he needs a good result, I think Curly does. As I think that Curly has had he's had 2 podiums this season, hasn't he? I wonder how he would feel about this season. Is this a good season for Curly? I don't want to be a bit too harsh on Curly, but I feel that he had a lot of pace in Australia, and I feel that that there was a lot of missed opportunities for Curly to get a lot more points on the board there, and perhaps Curly should be comfortably in the top 10. But you can say that about a lot of drivers as well. Remember, Welshman got her first Grand Prix win in the Canadian Grand Prix. And unfortunately, though, she hadn't scored a point up until the last race in Russia. Is that Wilson had to straighten up the car there, and oh goodness me, they've gone very wide there. Wilson has and oh gosh, he is just I think that was frustration there from Wilson as he just drove into the barrier there, and he is just waiting for oh my word, they're waiting for a Ferrari there to get by there, but Wilson there, I think that was a lot of frustration there on the Red Bull driver indeed there. Wilson currently 7th in the World Championship. He had a great start to the season, didn't he, Wilson? He finished 4th last season. Wilson did BP there, my word there. The back end was trying to overtake the front. Oh, good gosh there. So BP there is getting very loose on the old rear there. And BP, I think, has got an outside chance of getting into the top 3 as well at the moment, because BP is absolutely flying like a freight train, isn't he? And he's doing a very good job for the Racing Point since making his debut back in the, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, made his debut for silver. Good stuff indeed for BP, flying in that Racing Point. Now then, he had a bit of a up and down middle part of the season, but he's really come back very much on song as of late, BP has there. And he is now on a lap, and he's the only driver apart from Ayrton and Cirrus Mushroom on lap. And Cirrus Mushroom is currently 7th fastest at this moment in time. And as Gordo saying, my car felt very understeery then. Was young Tommy's asking, what wings are you running? Are you using a default setup, Gordo? Then, as Gordo said, no, thankfully, thank goodness me, that would be very not very good at all from Gordo's point of view. Then BP come through the 130 yards. Well, for some reason I went on Discord and it was on dark mode when I normally use live mode. Then goodness me, Gordo. Well, I gotta say, I hope you wear sunglasses when you use Discord. My word, there, it's very bright indeed. That I've done dark mode for almost everything now. BP has gone second fast at the moment, just behind the championship elect perhaps here tonight, which is Troy there. But I don't want to jinx him or anything, but at the same time, I do want to roll out the championship coronation, don't I? Which is Troy, since I missed Emerson's championship coronation back in Singapore. But of course, I blame the man who does the world championship tables there. So there we go. That's me just passing the buck on. I think young Tommy's going for a second bite of cherry. He is indeed then as he comes across. We've still got a lot of drivers who aren't set a time just yet. And likes of Wilson, Billet. Now we've got Slayer starting a lap. We've also got Beefy and Farf out there as well. Let's take a look to see what Slayer is doing. And of course, Slayer is on a good run of form now. But having said that, he's not feeling too confident there in the car at the moment. Then goodness me, as Slayer's got very much Hulk Hogan kind of helmet colours there. And is he a real American? I don't think he is. If anyone used to watch wrestling back in my day, you may get that reference. But if not, then carry on, good sir. Oh no, Slayer's gone. He is off. He's off there. And luckily though, he is that's very good skill there not to go into the inside bar there. Dunlop, and luckily he kept out of the bar then as well, because these cars can be very fragile. Someone last night just tapped the bar and his wheel fell off. I can't remember who that was now. It's my memory as a very much really left me there. Wilson saying headphones got tangled up into his controller there, which is why that looked very odd. It did look very odd indeed, didn't it? So yeah, so Wilson there just drove straight to the bar then. So unfortunately, it was a headphone malfunction there from Wilson, but hopefully he's got 5 minutes to go then, so he hasn't got long now to get that headphone malfunction out of his system. Farfus off! Oh no! And Farfus been listening to too much of Postman Pat is in the wall. He is out of qualifying there, Farfus. Oh dear indeed. Then FIFA is off the circuit as well. Goodness me, they're really throwing it all against the wall. Then young Tommy is set fastest up so far, or a quickest up. He's in 9th position at the moment as we're now accelerating away. Gurman saying that you jinxed me here last season. I think I did, didn't I? As Gurman was absolutely flying out there, was he? He was magnificent. Gurman was here. So we have lost Farf, who's going to be near the back of the field. It was here, wasn't it, where Gurman aquaplaned off the circuit there. He crashed his Haas car and he was out of the Grand Prix, wasn't he? As Gurman was very close to winning it as well, wasn't he? And he had so much bad luck, Gurman did at the end of that season, didn't he? He also had a puncture on the second to last lap in the Brazilian Grand Prix. It felt like Mother Nature. The elements was very much against Gurman, wasn't he? But he did in the end come through to take the World Championship, didn't he? As we just watching FIFA Beef accelerate out as well. As Will saying, this track is just a joke. Then he is not a happy camper in there at the moment, is he? FIFA goes 11 fastest in the Ferrari. Well, Slayer, he's 14 seconds up in the first sector. Wilson's gone on the wet tyres then, as he probably foresees a monsoon or something. Then we've had 2 qualifying sessions here in the past that have been delayed until Sunday morning. It was back in 2004 and then in 2010 as well. And was there one more recent than that as well? Perhaps there was, wasn't there? But I remember those two. I remember 2010 quite well because I had an all-nighter for that year, and I've got to say I was hanging out of my rear by the end of that. Oh my goodness me. We have got the Slayer now coming into the triangle chicane, which I don't think it's a triangle chicane anymore, but I have been calling it triangle chicane ever since I first started watching this race. And so old habits die hard and all that kind of stuff, and Slayer's got 18 seconds quicker to put himself into Oh no! And serious mushrooms off as well. This is some serious issues out there. Oh goodness me then. And serious mushroom. Oh, how has he got off there? That's a very unusual place to crash there. And the Williams is out of qualifying as well. We've lost 4 cars within 16 minutes of this qualifying session. Oh my goodness then. Wow. Well, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. It's been absolutely action-packed right from the get-go. Bradfield saying, Mazza Slayer there. Gordo's retired from the session as well, but Gordo is safe and sound in the pits. Mushroom, and then he's going to have to, he's unfortunately going to have to be on the back of a moped as he is going to be arriving back in the pits, and FIFA has got a bit quicker than that. And out of the pits now comes Wilson, but he's on a set of wet tyres. The reason why he's on a set of wet tyres, BP's gone fast, as unbeknownst to me till just a minute ago. Here's Billet then, who's basically stayed in the pit lane right until the very end then, and he's now just on a lap now and just seeing what he can do then. And we just say, look, then we've got Ayrton saying, love you all, good evening, Ayrton there. We've also got Gordon saying, you don't need the time, or you could do it on inters or something like that. And Farface, whoops, said, Gordon saying 2019 was delayed because of the storm. Aha, yes indeed it was. Good job that Gordo's got my back then. His Billet has come back into the pit, but I don't think he's going to get through in the qualifying. We're only going to have 12 people through at this stage then. And what's going on with Billet then? As I'm not sure, but I think this is a major problem for Billet. He's going to be at the back of the field then for the Japanese Grand Prix. And this is not a race where you want to be at the back of the field, do you? I think Billet has made a major error there, hasn't he? Perhaps, or is there some other problems that is in the Haas car that we don't know about on board FIFA? And he's getting a lovely little slipstream there off the back of his teammate Nigel then as well. Oh, goodness me, I've got a load of Discord messages come up. Let's just get rid of those, shall we? Oh, I've got a bit of sunshine there behind me as well. We've already got a lot of sunshine on the circuit. Minutes ago in this qualifying session then, as on board FIFA, as he is Ferrari of Nigel's coming in the pits, and so is FIFA as well. And this end of qualifying has been a bit of a damn squib at the moment, isn't it? Curly is in 6th position in the McLaren. He is safely through into qualifying 2 then. Indeed, I think we're going to have we might get 13 there, because Wilson might be able to pop himself through in the Red Bull there as well. But yes, I've got to say, this first qualifying session has been very much action packed, hasn't it? We have lost 2 cars there that have gone in the wall. Dan there has lost his keys. Bradfield's got a qualifying ban, I think, and have I just I might have, for some reason I'm thinking he doesn't now. I really should have looked at me notes then, perhaps said oh dear. Yeah, so it was 2019, it was delayed because of the storm and the Japanese Grand Prix. Thank you for that, Gordo. I completely forgot about that. I gotta say, my excuse is then, I really struggle to remember recent years of Formula 1. I don't know why. It's because I think it all merges into one now in my brain. And Curly, goodness me, he's 6 times a second up in the second split time now. So Curly, they're really doing a very good job in the McLaren. Indeed, then Wilson there has it thrown on the wet tyres then as well. Then Wilson has a Curly coming out of the final turn, and he's going to put himself into second position. And that's a mighty fine time there from Curly. Ayrton's also on another butter chair as well. Wilson there just needs to pop a time on the board, and he should be safely through as well. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm completely missing all these comments here. Sirius Mushroom is asking what's going on with Billet then, and as we're not sure, I think the Billet must have some technical gremlins there, because he needed to get a time on the board there if he wanted to get through, but he is out of qualifying, I think, at this stage of proceedings, which is a shame for Billet. It looks like that very much luck is not on his side for the Haas driver tonight, is it? Ayrton there is coming over the crest of the hill and flicking it past me, and he's flying past me as well in the 130R, which is not really a corner anymore, is it? It's more of a kinky kink, isn't it? Oops, I've just smashed my face. As Ayrton out of the front, I think I would smash my face when Ayrton's on the circuit as well. I get too excited when I see this gentleman. Ayrton goes 12th fastest then in the AlphaTauri. Here comes Wilson, and as you can see, he is burning rubber there on those wet tyres then, and this is a great demonstration of what happens when you put wet tyres on a dry track then. Or you could just ask Kimi Räikkönen back in 2009. It's Ferrari with their infamous wisdom there of putting Kimi on wet tyres then in 2009 Malaysian Grand Prix, which wasn't very sensible, was it? Dylan has just asked what's happening with Mushroom now. 3 weeks on the 3 weeks on the trot now on the racer line out lap then. As Bradfield is at 14th, and I've got to say, Bradfield 14th, considering the fact he was out quite early on then. We've got a lot of cars out right from the get-go here. Goodness gracious me then. And Becca saying that Jake there is doing his best impression of Kimi Räikkönen. We've got our qualifying one then is Billet then. Difficult problems for Billet. Farfy's gone off and into the hedge there. Murphy there lost his keys. He's down in 16th position. Sirius Mushroom went off at the S as well in 15th position. Bradfield Bradfield is not out of qualifying, so he could potentially go out, but of course he is serving a ban and Wilson through as well. So we've only got 13 drivers then for qualifying 2. My goodness me then. And Slayer saying least favorite track on the calendar, bar Monaco. I'll take that then. Yes, I think I think Slayer will be very happy with that, actually, won't he, if he's got through into qualifying too. Good stuff indeed. And I said, just where's Tommy there is saying no mushroom there, so I think he's seen his teammate having some issues there. Chad's saying supporting Pablo. If you don't know who that is, then at least Sean will. Haha. Yes, indeed, I do. I definitely know who Pablo is there. As of course, it's a Renault driver in the form of Welsh Maldonado. Then is let's just say her FIFA character resembles someone of who by the name of Pablo back in yesteryear then. So but that's as much as I'm going to say there, because indeed Wilson is just saving tires then as well, because that will come back to really pay him handsomely in the Grand Prix itself. We've got 27 laps around this race, so keep an eye out for Wilson later on then. 13 cars in this qualifying two, then we're going to lose 3 drivers then. But with the lack of drivers in this qualifying two, then someone is definitely going to be rubbing their hands in and perhaps trying to sneak through on the medium tires. Only 2 drivers got through on the medium tires last night. And remember that that was one of the race-winning strategies, of course, wasn't it? From German. Great performance last night from German, getting his 3rd Grand Prix win of his career in ALR. Fantastic performance indeed there from German. And of course, are we expecting the likes of Troy to follow in the footsteps of the man who he's taken over as the silver champion if he gets a point here tonight, which is a German, of course. And so good stuff indeed there for Troy. But I think Troy in his career in silver, I think last season he made his debut, didn't he, back in season 2 at the Dutch Grand Prix. Troy did in silver, and he really showed flashes of brilliance, didn't he? In his total career, he's had 13 podiums in this league, and he's only had 2 DNFs in 29 starts. This is his 30th Grand Prix start tonight, and what a way to cap it off then with becoming the silver world champion. Keep an eye on that one. Bradfield said wasn't expecting to retire the car again then. We got 7 dislikes. Disgraceful. Oh, we've gone to 8 then. Oh, that's absolutely horrific stuff, isn't it? Well, there you go then. Perhaps it's my voice then. We don't get to, I don't think we'll get many dislikes in the bronze stream tomorrow though, because of course there we got 2 Grand Prix winners in the commentary boxes tomorrow. That is Emerson, a double world champion in gold now, and Ayrton, who is a race winner in silver as well, and also a podium sitter in silver and bronze as well then. So 2 very accomplished drivers, very much doing a great job in ALR. Good stuff indeed then, and they'll be taking you through the trials and tribulations then of all of us bronze lads tomorrow, and hopefully hopefully I'd love to get through turn 1 really, but I gotta say that's quite a wishful thinking, isn't it? As we got Steve there who's just come through a Dunlop as well there, and as they're just on board now with the Steve as well, as he is just coming under the crossover then, and let's see what he can do as well. And so this is the only figure of 8 circuit on the calendar. Hang on a minute, I've got to get my hair out of the way. I'm hoping this is going to be the last time I'm talking about my hair on the stream then. Well, probably I'll talk about it on Wednesday as well, but I think that we should be sponsored by Maybelline now. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline, maybe. Or Trezor. I use Tresemme actually. I think, isn't it, I don't know. I don't know any fashion designs. I was going to say, is it Gino De Campo that uses the Tresemme? But I think he's a chef, Eddie De Campo. I quite like that man. He's a very funny man indeed, isn't he? But I don't think he uses Tresemme. But there you go. I have no other idea about who, what, or where. What I do know is that Steve is out on circuit as well in the Red Bull, and I think that Steve has had a bit of an up and down season. Actually, Steve has in 13 Grand Prix starts. He has had 6 DNFs this season, but he has had 2 driver of the day performances. He's had 2 podiums as well. So it's either very high highs or very low lows at the moment for Steve. But let's see if he can get himself out of the bottom half of the table then. He is so compact in the middle part of silver, it's ridiculous there in between it. So literally the most points between anyone from 6th all the way down into 19th position is actually 10 points, which is between Curly and Welshman Nada. Everyone else is under single figures between each other. It's magnificent. Oh, Steve has lost it there. He's drifted. He's in the wall. He has touched the concrete barrier there. He's going to have to he's just fighting engage in the reverse gear. And see there, he's got plenty of time then. The Red Bull mechanics are going to have to get the new nose cone section ready for him. And see then, who's on the medium tires there, the Dunlop corner is really perilous indeed then. If you've got low grip like you will have on the medium tires then, you will have spinning as well. And so that's unfortunate for Steve. And a lot of these compatriots there be looking at that there and just be putting a mental note in there on their little diaries perhaps, just to say to be careful around Dunlop, otherwise you'll be on the same issue as Steve. As out of the pits now comes Ayrton in the AlphaTauri as well. And so Ayrton now will be Let's see what Ayrton can do in just a few moments indeed then. Gordo saying, I see nobody wants to go out then. I think not then, because this track evolution around here is, oh my goodness me, young Tommy's had enough of the track evolution, and Suzuka, he has left the session. Hopefully he'll come back in a not too distant future, because young Tommy there is in qualifying 2 at the moment now. He needs to get himself going and go in there and seeing what he can do, seeing if he can get back in the session so he can get a time on the board then. On board now, Verstappen with a lovely designed helmet there indeed then. I don't think he designed this one though, Ayrton. He's a bit of an artist with the old helmet, isn't he, Ayrton is? But that one, I don't think he can put in his collection now, because I think he's borrowed that from the Schumacher fan club, hasn't he, Ayrton, last night then, as he's coming up into Spoon as well then. Ayrton is very much, Ayrton and Emerson are very much a modern day Vettels, aren't they, really? They changed their helmet design quite a lot then. I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I prefer it if drivers keep their helmet designs there, because that is your signature, isn't it? So remember, Nigel has I always recognise Nigel's helmet there, because he's had the traditional green and black and yellow helmet for a very long time. Nigel has. I absolutely love it. It really makes me happy inside then. Ayrton, let's see if he can make himself happy inside as he comes over the finish line as well. The finish line and the start line is in 2 completely different places, of course, as the finish line has to be in line with the FIA garage. We got Ayrton there going through into the entry of turn 1 and now into turn 2 as well, and accelerate away then before coming up into the S's as well then. And let's see what's going on there. Wilson saying that the people that watch this knows how good it is, and the dislikes means nothing, makes no impact. And unfortunately just someone then who's just trying to cause disruption then. It's a shame really, because generally if you've got a dislike about what we do, it would we are always open to for improvements and stuff like. Of course, remember Nosey, Farfin, Ayrton all put like a challenge together, didn't they, about the about what in the Discord driver Discord thingamajig. Yep, that's as technical as I can be tonight. But in the Discord about a suggestion box, which is a great idea, isn't it? And so drivers can always contribute as well, and also in the stream as well. If you don't like what we're doing or anything like that, maybe I talk too much nonsense there, or maybe you would prefer maybe the Hiltons to do a bit more commentary, perhaps less of me, more of the Hiltons, perhaps. Then of course, then we're open to any ideas then. Or maybe you would like some new blood in the commentary box then. So yeah, if you've got a thumbs down, then we'd like to hear the reason why. Put them in the comments box, or send it to an admin or whatnot, or any kind of thing. Then whether it's on our Facebook page, Instagram, whatnot, and of course we will listen to you. But having said that, then I would love to continue commentating on a gold and silver and a COBALT as well then. But I gotta say, COBALT really throws me off my game then, because it's on Wednesdays. We got Ayrton, who's gone fast this said, and he is sort of quite strong here. But we got Welshman Otto in 14th position. Troy is in 13th at the moment. They haven't set times thus far, have they? FIFA Beefy in the Ferrari is out on circuit, but he's invalidated his time then, so he's have to go and have a go around again then. Gordo is just coming through the second. Degner as well then. And as just on board then, Mushroom saying, and he's a bit shocked about what's happened there to Billet then. So I think there's some major gremlins going on with Billet, unfortunately. As I think that there's a technical gremlin. That's why he hasn't set a qualifying lap, perhaps, from the Astro. And that is a bitter blow as well, because this is a difficult track to overtake on. I think that this is a track there where Billet could really show what he's made of there, because he's done that in the last 3 races, hasn't he? Or 2 of the last 3 races. He's been very good indeed, hasn't he? And now coming up over the crest of the hill then. Gordo, as Curly saying, it's mind games then. Good stuff indeed then. From Curly Red then, yes, of course, that there is a lot of mind games in this field of cars, isn't there? I do love a good old mind game or two, don't I? Unfortunately, I can't play them because my brain will explode. Gordo out of the final turn then. He goes fastest then as well. And he's done a 27.6 then as he comes across the line. Maldonado is into Spoon now then, but we'll leave her to it for the minute then, because I think we've got another car who's a bit closer. It's BP who's just starting to stop. Young Tommy's back in the session as well. TK is also at the hill. We're going back to Maldonado. Here she is, and here's Ross Rondon coming through the 130R as well. Not even a hint of a lift. The engine power dulls slightly. The engine dulls slightly. It's been going into the triangle chicane as well. There's a teammate just in front of us. I think Troy would like to have got a slipstream there, or maybe Ross Maldonado would have liked to have got a slipstream there. Unfortunately, neither are going to help each other there. About 600 a second away from Gordo, who's looking very much back on song now after a very challenging Russian Grand Prix. Oh gosh, I've got some a bit out of breath already here. Here comes Nigel then, Alafon turning Nigel. I don't think he's ever won a race in Japan, has he, in his ALR career? As we said, it's a bit of a bogey circle, isn't it, for Nigel? But he goes fast as ever. He proves me wrong now. I'm going to shut my mouth. Nigel goes fast as ever, 10th for a second, or less than 10th for a second in front of Gordo. And yes, he's put me very much in my place as well, which he probably enjoyed, didn't he? TK now flying through the 130R, and now coming up into the triangle chicane, accelerates in a way. Let's see what TK can do then. DRS wide open, and it's like a little letterbox, and little letterbox, and little letterbox. And TK goes fast, and then young Tommy is up a new second at the moment. Good stuff indeed then, as we've got a dry session on at that confirmed. Hang on, BP's coming across the line. He goes third fastest there. Look at these times, and there's now starting to really Constantine up there. This is good stuff indeed there. There's the yellow flag where Curly is. I don't think it's for Curly, so Curly comes up to the line. He is second fastest. Oh my goodness me, Curly is on song tonight, isn't he? And it's good stuff indeed then. And Curly probably could have and should have won a Grand Prix this season, perhaps then. As we already mentioned, he should be well in the top 10 in terms of the classification of the standings. And Troy goes second fast. He's a whisker away behind TK. TK is looking very solid indeed then. Steve, who had an issue there at Dunlop then, is now back on circuit, and away he goes as well then. And coming up the hill and saying, or maybe they're just jealous of the man, the myth, the legend of Sean then. I highly doubt that, as I got so I can hardly get my words out more often than not. See anyone came a cropper here. Look at those clouds there, just gathering above the Suzuka circuit here. Oh goodness me, then we wasn't expecting rain. Oh, and Steve there is that. Oh my word, there he went on the AstroTurf Alta Degna 1, invalidated his time then, and he's also lost this lap as well. And so Steve's made two mistakes, hasn't he, on his two runs here in qualifying 2, and he needs to now let's see what he can do then. So the pressure's starting to mount on Steve now, as we're leaving to it for the minute, because here's Beefy into turn 1 then. Gordo's saying if you press share, then you can click on a video clip and it saves it from the past hour. Dylan saying, I hate Dunlop corner, to be honest. Dunlop is a corner that really starting to catch drivers out, and I can't remember it in I figure it caught me out last game as well, and the game before actually, but it's only a recent issue, isn't it, I think, on the Formula 1 games, because it used to be flat out. When I say recent games, it used to be flat on the 95 game, I think. FIFA Beefy coming through the second Degna as well, before coming under the crossover. And we got Jake saying he hates every corner here, to be honest, and young Tommy not getting them, but I think that was young Tommy just trying to get back in the session, but luckily is Serious Mushins saying cheers Gordo. We got Cheers, must say my first run I had of 10 laps of fuel. Second was going to be my main lap, but then oh goodness me. So I think that there was issues there with Serious Mushroom and Billet actually. So I thought Mushroom was talking about where Billet there didn't set a lap then, but perhaps that unfortunately they may have come to blows there. It was in a very difficult place, wasn't it? Gurma saying was expecting rain, but Steve's got pain then. He has indeed at the moment, hasn't he? Steve has in the Red Bull. So Steve there has got, I was going to say Gurma then. Steve has got to really pull his socks up on this attempt, on this next attempt then, if he wants to get through there. Here comes FIFA coming out of the final turn now. FIFA goes 8 fast at the moment. Ayrton is emerged out of the pits on the medium tires then. Nigel's retired from the session. Look at that sunshine right into the eyes then. Steve is, oh no, and Steve is in the wall. Oh goodness me, Steve is having a nightmare of a time out here in the Japanese Grand Prix. He's really struggling, and the tires are just not it's just not helping him out here, and he could be out of qualifying. I think if he says a time he'll be in front of Bradfield in a 13th position there. Whether that's going to help or not in the race, we will find out then, but he will all be on the racing line then. BP is retired from the session in 5th position. Yellow flags are in sector 1, 2 and 3. We've got young Tommy saying had a good lap. That's new. And Carboy saying that short shift 2 at 7th is a must in qualifying in a Dunlop. Indeed, then let me make a note of that. C is very unlucky in qualifying. I think that C has had some technical grumbles right at the beginning of the season as well. Remember last season we had flashes of brilliance from Steve, didn't we? And we've seen flashes of brilliance from Steve in this season as well, with 2 podiums to his name. Then you don't get 2 podiums by luck there. You are a quick customer, aren't you? But oh no! And Will Slayer's off! Oh, and he's coming to the pits there. And did he want to do that? I'm not too sure there. Oh, and Steve has just gone into the back of Slayer. Oh, goodness me then. And yes, there's a bit of a nightmare on Elm Street here, isn't there? And Wilson there, can he get through then? So Wilson there is, I think it's between Ayrton and Wilson to perhaps get through. Maldonado is having to defend her position as well. FIFA is on a lap then. Oh, Ayrton there is cutting the grass there. Oh, he's off the circle after this. He might have thrown away qualifying free here for Ayrton. He has made a huge error. So Wilson there, who's hated this track with every part of his being, every part of that Red Bull car. Both Red Bulls are having a very good time here in Japan, aren't they? Remember that Red Bull do have a rich history here. Dominic say 1 in 2009 then, and 2010, 11 and 12 and 13 as well. No, did they win in 2011? No, they don't. I think Jenson Button did, didn't he, actually? Or was it Vettel? I think it was Button or Vettel, one of those two. But anyway, yeah, Red Bull did have a great run of wins around here, didn't they? Good stuff indeed. So can the Red Bull team and can Wilson get through with Ayrton there on the back foot now? And I'm wondering if Maldonado is going to abandon her time where she hasn't got through anyway, because the checker flag has fallen there. There's Gordo in the background. Gordo is safely through, but is he going to carry on this? I think stay on the soft tyres. We'll find out. As Sarah saying, OMG then. Oh dear, as Marshman has got blocked by Troy there then. So I don't think she's going to be too happy with Troy, is she? Look at how dull it's gotten here in Japan then. Yes, so I think young Tommy said quality. I'm not sure if it's quality that the Renault teammates have blocked each other, or if it's about something else. And maybe the pit entry there has got a bit too nip and tuck there, didn't it? Coming into the Suzuka pit entry then. Out of final turn for Wilson then. Is Ayrton going to be in major trouble here? Ayrton is in major trouble, I think then. And look, Wilson is through. He displaces Ayrton. He slips through by the skin of the nose cone. Wilson is through to qualifying free on the medium tyres as well. What a strange qualifying session that was then. And my word, then we was going to see some tears. We've already seen some tears, haven't we, in this qualifying session then. And I think there's a lot more to come than this difficult, tricky old circuit, isn't it? And look at how dull it is. Are we going to get any rain? Well, there has been some rain behind me as well, out of my old viewing plane there, which is called a window. Steve out of qualifying. Unfortunately, he had 2 bites of the cherry, and both those times he had some issues. And Slayer half spun it and came into the pits. And if that's what he meant, then that's absolutely fantastic stuff. He should have a go at that stunt rider game back on the old PS2. We've got 12th position for Bradfield, who hasn't turned a wheel in this qualifying session. He's in 12th position. Good effort there from Bradfield. Ayrton there missing that, and he made a mistake on his final lap. But 11th position ain't too bad there for Ayrton. Is a fellow compatriot there, Wilson, in 10th position. He is through into qualifying free. Everyone is on the medium tyres then. Good stuff indeed. As a full quality ban, and Bradfield is in 12th position. Yeah, I gotta say, this qualifying session has been absolutely incredible, hasn't it? You couldn't write this stuff, could you? Sarah saying that was easily on for qualifying through, but accelerated too much off the last curve there. As Martin say, what a jammy dodger there. I do love a good jammy dodger, actually. Oh, goodness me, I might have to go to the shop tomorrow and get some. Oh, yeah. I do fancy like a jam donut, actually. I haven't had one of those in a while either. But anyway, enough about that in me being very much a pig. Like I always said, I've had too much for tea. That should do me. But of course, my eyes are bigger than my belly, and I'm going to complain that I'm going to be sick then. As after I had that issue, didn't I, in Belgium a couple of weeks ago? Right, qualifying 3 is up and running then, and TK is really not wasting any time. He's out on circuit, and TK has been on pole position once in his career before in the Monaco Grand Prix. That was a good, really, I think that was his debut, wasn't it? TK was one of his first races in silver. Fantastic, wasn't it, for TK? Magnificent stuff indeed. It's on board for it, as he is now coming up the hill as well. As Bradfield's going to be very happy with 12th position there. He's got a full quality bond and he's having the 12th, magnificent stuff. As Gordo saying he backed off after the final turn, and that's why he didn't improve then. So he's on the medium tires, and Tommy saying, could someone send me a spare invite just in case? And could also someone send me a spare invite as well? So I'll be sat on the menu again then, doing and complaining and all that kind of stuff. Dylan saying, what is your secret for starting 12th with a qualifying band, Bradfield? Then I gotta say, that's absolutely amazing, isn't it? And this is a track where you really didn't want a qualifying band because it's very difficult to overtake. There's only one DRS zone around here, isn't there? And the only other track I can remember of one DRS zone is Monaco. I'm sure there's more than one. I know that Imola last season only had one, but did any other track had one DRS zone? No, Emerson said it was Monaco, but I'm sure there was another one. But maybe I'm just making this all up as I go along, man. Slayer saying, I played that stunt game on PS2 and completed it, Sean. Then, oh good, I struggled with that, to be fair. I thought I would be really good at stunt, a really good stunt driver, but let's be honest, crashing is not a stunt, is it? So that's unfortunate for me, isn't it? TK then out the final turn, and he's about to go with the grid Hutchins and start us off as well. So whilst TK is accelerated up the turn, when there's a Red Bull right in the oh goodness me, that Red Bull very close there to the limit there of the racing line. Then TK on board from as he's coming up the S's as well. Hang on to the seat of your underpants here, folks, and look at this. And I gotta say, I get very concerned now where I go up here. Brilliant stuff indeed there from TK, though. Very much nailed on there to the circuit. Brilliant stuff indeed. Coming through Dunlop as well. We've got Bradfield saying that never seen anything like it. Young Tommy for Paul there from Kakarot Goku, which I think is one of my favourite names in YouTube history. Brilliant stuff indeed there. And I gotta say, I really need to play the new Kakarot game then. Of course, as I'm a big old Dragon Ball Z fan indeed, then I used to love it back when I was younger. I still do, to be fair, but unfortunately they haven't brought out anything new in Dragon Ball Z recently. But there you go. Anyway, I've got to take my nerdy cap off then. Anyway, back to where we were then. Broke Gorilla, evening Sean, go Gordo indeed then. So with Broke Gorilla, short and swift there with his comments. Good stuff indeed there from Broke Gorilla, a former commentator and a race driver here in ALR. Good stuff to see you, Broke Gorilla. Hashtag Tommy for president as well then. I think it'll be a fight between Troy and TK for pole position there. I'm absolutely loving it indeed then. So we got any outsiders there? I think Curly is definitely going to be in the ballpark as well for this pole position here tonight, and I'm loving it. And we got TK out the final turn. He's in the 26.8 there for TK. Magnificent stuff there. Wilson has started this up as well. And I think that BP, I'm going to put him in the ballpark as well. He is in the ballpark by 4/10 of a second. Curly is in third position on there on the 27.0 so far. FIFA, we had a crawling Gordo then coming up the hill then, so he's had a problem. Gordo has a FIFA across the line then. He is 2/10 second away from Curly at this moment in time. Then here comes young Tommy then. Look at those break this glowing on that Williams then. He's really putting that Williams through his paces, and now the final turn for young Tommy. He's in the relegation zone, but he is currently back up into second now for the Williams driver. Good stuff indeed there for young Tommy. Nigel is just about to start us up. Welsh Maldonado is coming to finish her lap. And what can she do then? Alafon turn, and then Maldonado goes at fifth fastest then. Gordo is abandoning his time and come back into the pits. Wilson on the lap then. Nigel started this up as well. Here's Wilson then as he accelerates out of the hairpin. Oh gosh, sir, I've given my phone a wash. Oh goodness me, hang on a minute, let me just wipe all that off then. Oh gosh, sir, I think there's my phone very much had the weather there, didn't it, unfortunately? As I looked down at it was, oh gosh, I don't know what's going on today. Oh my word there, I'm going to get a mouth guard on, ain't I? Wilson there is now powering out of the spoon corner, now coming up into the 1/3 yard, and look at that, it's the car almost leaping into the air. Now through 1/3 yard as well, they don't even lift off anymore for that. That's absolutely amazing. The downforce on these cars is incredible. It is absolutely a feat of engineering, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? These machines. What about Wilson? He is so fast at the moment. Nigel is on that, and Troy we're on board. Troy, he's made a mistake, then he's off the circuit, and the man who could be world champion tonight, and he has got across the grass there, and his first time run has been invalidated, but I think they would have been ruined anyway. So that's unfortunate for Troy. So that's not good at all. And now as we're on board and coming up into the 130R as well, and look at that, and once again, and not even a hint of a lift fed, as we now come into the triangle chicane as well, as Gordo said, there goes my banker indeed, then, oh goodness me, I hope you haven't sacked your banker, Gordo, you might need those for later on. We got Nigel out of the final turn, and he goes third fastest there for Nigel then, so Gordo, then do not sack your banker, because they do very well in your Monopoly game. Or they do very well in my Monopoly game, but of course I'm always the snazzy looking iron as well then, so I think everyone else is probably the cart usually, aren't they? So now just Troy is coming back in the pits. Well, unfortunately Gordo and Troy have both had their banker laps have gone, unfortunately, so that is it then, and he's now coming back into the pits now then. So is Troy going to come in the pack? He is coming back in the pits. He will have another set of tyres though. Know that Wilson will, because remember Wilson went on the wet tyres, and will we need the wet tyres before the end of this qualifying session? Let's see, now come back in the pits, and Will said can't do any better than that. I'm miles off then, but I think that Wilson I think that's a very that's not a bad time at all, to be fair, to be in 8th position myself, and I would love to be in 8th position tomorrow. That'll be really good stuff indeed. Nigel is gone up in the 3rd position then, so let's take stock then with 5.5 minutes to go. We've got BP fast set, and at the moment this will be his second pole position of his career. His first one's back in the Italian Grand Prix. He is 3/10 of second in front of young Tommy, who is second at the moment. 3rd position, it's Nigel. That's his best qualifying performance of his career in Suzuka. 4th position is TK. 5th is Curly. Maldonado in 6th position. FIFA 7th. Wilson is 8th. Gordo 9th. Troy is 10th position. There's a long way to go with 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. And he picked it up, and it usually does indeed. Young Tommy, well, I'm more than happy with that then. I'm more than happy with that then. I got more pace than expected, and well, young Tommy's got fantastic pace. He's on the front row of the grid. Young Tommy is there, and if he stays there, he'll be out of the relegation zone as well, because Baz is not here tonight, so he ain't going to score. So young Tommy needs 11 points to get in front of Baz there, and he needs a further 15 points to get in front of Ericsson as well. So the Alpha Tauri drivers are going to be sweating bullets now, aren't they, with the final stage of the season coming up then. So we'll find out. So we're going to see who is going to be in and who's going to be out there, with 5 races to go, including the race that we're on now. Let's see what happens. Wilson saying that Tommy's time is a joke then. It's a very impressive time there for young Tommy. Really is indeed. And young Tommy was quick in rush as well. Unfortunately, he was robbed, wasn't he, of that? So fingers crossed that we got... Oh, it's Curry there has gone off onto the grass there. So something must have... caught his eye then, as we got yellow flags out somewhere there, but Curly there is very much there. He's getting the car in the window then. Marski saying, welcome to my Saturday night, Jake, laugh out loud. So as that young guy, of course, Marski, a driver in the bronze, series. So you see Marski tomorrow in the Renault there. Of course, Renault are very much in a rich run of form in their final season of ALR, the Renault team, and the Racing Point team as well. Of course, they could be, those two teams could be first and second in the joint constructors at the end of this one, and it's going to be their last season in ALR, so my goodness me, they're very much starting on a high, aren't they? So just now on board with Curly, as he is, you can see then as he is just getting his car in the window. BP is just coming. Is BP coming out on circuit? He is indeed, isn't he? So Curly's got to time this one, and he's got 3 minutes to go in this session, and so I'm wondering if he's going to go for his 2 bites of the cherry on this one. Comes over the line, then Curly currently in 5th position. Only one other car is on the circuit. That is BP, who is currently on pole position, going for a second pole position of his career in silver, and BP is very much on the march now, isn't he, to perhaps potentially get into that top 3 and get promoted up into gold then. So BP is very much in fine battle at the moment, isn't he? Marski, Tommy is just a beast. Oh my word there. Well, young Tommy is currently on the front row. I wonder if young Tommy's got anything in the bank there. Can he get himself on the pole position for the first time in his ALR career? But we got to be more concerned about Curly. Yes, I am now. Into the second deck now for Curly. And now coming into the crossover as well. BP just getting out of the way there. Very good awareness there from BP. Very good stuff, Didi, because he knows that the dirty air can fall back as long as 5 seconds there. It's ridiculous, isn't it? The dirty air off these modern Formula 1 machines machines, and they remember 2022 rules are coming out there, and hopefully that'll reduce the dirty air then, and perhaps a bit more ground effect then, perhaps then, which to be honest is probably the best way to go about racing, isn't it? Well, that's what Martin Brundle says. I don't know anything about the aerodynamics in because I'm a bit thick. We're coming now up past and the support grid Hans as well, coming up into the 130 yard, half a second up. Curly is, he is going to be threading the front row, or maybe in pole position. That's a magnificent second sector, and breaking down to the triangle chicane. Is he looking steady? Is he looking sturdy? He is indeed. Then as the car is trying to step out, that Curly is taming the car. Is he taming his pole position? He's on pole position there. He has found an almighty amount of time there, Curly has there, and he is happy with that as he's waving from left to right. He is absolutely ecstatic with that, Curly is there, and this could be his first pole position. No, it could be his second pole position of the season. I should have said that as well. Curly's pole position was back in the Canadian Grand Prix, wasn't it? Of course, back in the ninth round of the Grand Prix, we've got Gurman and it's there saying, come on, Curly, then. It was an absolutely magnificent time indeed there for Curly. On board with BP. BP has got to find 200 to a second, and so it's in the ball court now of BP. Now, what can he do to strike back? Maldonado started her lap as well. She is down in sixth position on it. BP is found some time by the whisker. Oh, he's gone wide there. He's not gone wide there. One on the curb there, gone the power, and he has lost a bit of time. He's locked up the inside left front, and he shouldn't have lost too much momentum there. BP is on the limit and beyond of this racing point. This is great stuff indeed, and we're on board once again as he is flicking through, cut up into Spoon as well. He needs 200 to a second, and he's found it in the first sector. He had a bit of a so-so middle sector, didn't he? Coming out of the second deck, now would have gone the power a bit too early there, and that is inch perfect there, coming out of Spoon as well. Not too wide, not too wide, and not too slow either. That's good. And second sector coming up, I say so. He's 3 tenths of a second up there. Oh my word, he's going to be in the 25s. BP is there. This is magnificent now. Into the triangle chicane, looking up the inside left front tire again, and accelerates to the way down. That's looking neat and tight end. And he is just 1 quarter from over. BP is on pole position, a 26-1. Magnificent indeed there. Absolutely sensation. Young Tommy has missed the checkered flag. Oh no! And young Tommy there isn't going to be able to reply there. He's down into third position, but Curly's back in the pit. He's on the front row of the grid there. Maldonado then into the triangle chicane as well then, and that is inch perfect as well, and these drivers are absolutely, this is on the ragged edge and beyond. This is what ALR show us all about. She's in third position now, and she has gone in front of young Tommy, and here comes Nigel. He is 8,500 second up in the second sector. That's there or thereabouts. Is he going to get in front of young Tommy? That will get him in front of young Tommy, but no further, I don't think. What about his final sector time as well for Nigel, the first ever ALR world champion? He is in full fast as young Tommy is there. He is on the second row of the grid. What about Troy? He hasn't set time just yet. Out of final turn, and Troy is second fastest out of nowhere. Gordo is coming down across the line. He is 8th fastest, and Gordo is. What about TK? He was in the conversation, wasn't he? There's FIFA behind us as well. Car 2, TK out of final turn. TK is full fastest, and he's on the second row of the grid. FIFA stays 9th fastest, if I'm not very much mistaken. Wow, what an incredible end to qualifying it was. But it's BP who is on pole positioning for the Japanese Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed there for BP. 9 thousandths of a second in front of Troy in second position. Magnificent. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed. I absolutely enjoyed that qualifying session. That was brilliant, wasn't it? And I would have a lie down now. As New Potato's in the session, good stuff indeed there for New Potato. As I was a bit of horrid look there in my face then when I seen that someone had left then, but luckily it's someone who's joined as well. Brilliant stuff indeed. Marsky, fantastic lap then. We got Kakarot St. Pool. We got Mushroom saying Love Beast here then. We've got a fantastic lap there from Maldonado. Well done indeed there. Bailey, yes, and well done the Renault team. Go grab them points then from Marsky as well. Remember, it's all about the joint constructors as well. Will saying, my gosh, these must practice a lot then. Got young Tommy, practice for 20 minutes then. Good stuff indeed. Right then, and it's and coming up next then is the Japanese Grand Prix, and I think the coming up next in Japan Japanese is actually Yoya Iida's cock then, which is you can see I have learned a bit of Japanese then. Unfortunately, that's the only bit I know, and I think I know konnichiwa as well. So that's about it, really, isn't it? Right then, here is we've now got Dylan. So we've now got Dylan saying, "Good luck, Silver." 16 seconds to go in for the start of the Grand Prix. My fingers are crossed, my toes are crossed, my legs are crossed, everything is crossed here, so that we don't have any issues there. Now I don't want to miss the start, as I was a grumpy old ginger last week. Then of course you also have issues there with the interview process as well after that PlayStation 5 update. So I'm not a very happy chap either, and by the looks I might have to rebuild my database, which not really keen on doing tonight, I must say. Probably I'm going to do it tomorrow either, because I'll probably end up doing it and missing the race then, which I'll be very, well, as far as it wouldn't make a difference really, would it? But I think we like to have a full grid, don't we, in ALR then. Gordon saying he has a practice tour, uses the controller there. Marsky saying I've got to shoot for my own league there, for my own league race then. Good luck to Silver, good stuff indeed there, Marsky. We've also got Goku saying Dylan, tomorrow it is your turn then, so just waiting then for just waiting for the start of Grand Prix then, and well, the moment we've got some spinny circles at the moment, and I'm not sure what's we see Ayrton to the left hand side there. It looks like he's bobbing his head up and right hand side there. He's bobbing his head up and down then, and yeah, at the moment then, so it looks like New Potato joined the session now, and he's now left. But as we're just waiting to see what is occurring here, I don't know what's going on with Mondays, but well, there we go. We have now got the formation lap then, so this is a good opportunity to go from front to back then, from pole position all the way down into 18th position then. Unfortunately, New Potato there has caused problems with the lobby, hasn't he? So that's a very naughty potato indeed, isn't it? Right then, so we've got one driver on the soft tires, which is Steve. So he's going for an attack if opening stint here. Hard tires for Serious Mushroom. Everyone else is on the medium compound tires then. So let's go for the great show from front to back. And BP, a second pole position of his career in ALR. He had one in Italy. He's got one in Japan now. That's 2 pole positions in the last 4 Grand Prix. Troy has been on pole position 4 times this season. He was only 9,000 of a second away. Only 9,000 of a second away. Incredible, isn't it? He's on the front row then. Third position there is Curly. Curly had a magnificent lap there. He's right in third position as well then. So can Curly get some strong points for the McLaren team? TK is in 4th position there in the Alfa Romeo. 5th position is Welsh Maldonado. She is getting back into the form of her life as well. Same with Curly. 6th position is Nigel. Nigel there, of course, has got to repel the attack of New Potato if he wants to get back into gold for next season. Young Tommy in 7th position there. Great performance for young Tommy. If he got a second lap in, I think he would have been very much on the front 2 rows, if I'm not very much mistaken. Gordo in 8th position there. 9th position is FIFA Beefy. Wilson, who has been playing down his chances, has got himself into the top 10. Good stuff indeed then. Outside the points, 11th position there is Ayrton in the Alpha Tauri. 12th position is Bradfield. Jake the Slayer in the 13th position there. Steve in 14th. 15th is Serious Mushroom having some issues there. Murphy in 16th in the Alpha Tauri. Farf unfortunately came to a disappointed end then, and Billet then in 18th position then, and I'm not sure if Billet and Serious Mushroom came the blows then, but that seemed to have been the case. Right now, as we're now just coming down then into the start of the Grand Prix as well then, as the lobby froze because of New Potato then. We can't blame Forest Wi-Fi this time, yes, because it's Ayrton who's hosted then, so we have to blame Ayrton if anything goes wrong. As young Tommy said, don't like the look of that then. Thanks for reminding me there from Kakarot Goku. Kakarot Goku also pointing out, yes, there's only... Oh, Ayrton has been a very naughty boy. Has Wilson and Bradfield. They've all been disqualified from the session, but luckily only from the formation lap. But then coming into the final part as well before we get going then. Yes, only 18 cars unfortunately then. Hopefully they'll have 19 when New Potato then gets onto the grid then. But yeah, we was meant to have 20, so I'm not sure what happened there. But then line up 18 from the grid then. Here we go then for the start of the Grand Prix as well then. Here we go then as we're now waiting for those lights to come on then. So then, as we have a pause, don't we then, for the start of the race. Now there are the lights then, and here we go. We got 5 sets of lights to come on, and we are going. The Japanese Grand Prix Go, then in the ladder the rise and sun. That's a Williams off straight away. Sarah Spencer's dropped back then. And Beefy's had a great start. Nigel's having a fifth position. Welsh Maldonado is fighting on the outside then as well. She is on the outside because Nigel's on the inside. Nigel's got up in the fifth position as well. A good somebody then. Nigel fifth and yellow flags is what's happening. There's problems. There's Billa who's come across for us. Yellow flag. That's a Ferrari. That's FIFA. FIFA's gone around the wrong way then. FIFA's had some issues and he's dropped right down to the back of the field then. Nigel is gone up in the fifth position and he has passed Welsh Maldonado. I know that's a good performance. Steve is at ninth position. Steve has flown through the field there on those soft tires and same as his driver as in the gold, which is of course Gunnar up a lot of positions as well, and same for Steve. Now we're in 5 positions up to the 9th position. Magnificent stuff for Steve, so he accelerates away. Unfortunately, FIFA has dropped down the order. He's down in 9th position, and there's reports of FIFA having a couple of issues with his connections, but at the moment FIFA's 10 seconds away. What a shame now for FIFA. We're not sure what happened there. Maldonado is gone on the outside of Spoon now. Remember, Hill and Coulthard went for a run on the out there in 1995, didn't they? Which effectively ended their charge for the Constructors World Championship as well. Renault very much still trying to fight for the Constructors, but at the moment, no Mercedes are in the top 10, and there's only one Mercedes driver at the moment, which is really hurting them in terms of the battle for the Constructors. And as we come into the triangle chicane, as a young Tommy is all over the back of the Welshman, and Murphy and Slayer are going side by side. Then BP is set to fast on the race, and young Tommy is in trouble. Tommy is in trouble here. He is facing the wrong way out of the fog turn. We're just looking at Maldonado and Tommy, and what's going on there then? Into the pits comes Slayer. He's damaged the nose cone. Also, young Tommy is in the pits as well. Farf and Murphy are side by side. Now Murphy is up to 11th position there. We're not sure what happened to Tommy, or we're not sure what happened to Slayer either, but both of them are down in 17th and 18th position. They've got pace here tonight, and keep an eye out for him as well. And just keeping an eye on Murphy. Then he's a bit of a ghost at the moment. And Ayrton leads the Grand Prix. Fantastic! Stay's off. There's action galore in the opening stage of the Grand Prix. And Steve there, who is just trying to get himself back onto the track, but it looks and Steve's magnificent start has come to nothing there. And Steve is oh goodness me there. And Steve there's just trying to cautious they come back on the circuit, and BP leads out by 7/10 of a second there from Troy at the moment. Now Troy is going to be the Silver World Champion, but he has got a long way to go. Of course, then we'll keep an eye on that throughout tonight then, to let you know what is going on and who is doing what then. So Nigel, young Tommy has left the session there. That's not good, is it? Young Tommy there, and that's a big blow indeed. Bradfield, who had a qualifying ban, who started 12th, he is in 12th position still. Good stuff indeed then. Farf up 6 positions. Murphy up 6 positions as well. Ayrton is up 2 positions. He's in 9th position. Wilson up 2 positions. Good 70 then. Bullet up 4 as now just swapped to the tyres and on the left hand side tower as well. Back on board with Bradford as we come into the triangle chicane. Once again, the BP is setting out fast out of the race, but he can't wiggle his way out of the DRS zone, which has got Troy in the moment. DRS has now been enabled then on the third lap as we got yellow flags. And Steve there is just trying to recover after having some issues in the Dunlop corner. Unfortunately, BP leads. Second position is Troy. Third position is Curly, really putting a hammer on now. Curly is, isn't he? And here's Nigel then all over the back now of TK. I'll say he was all over the back. He's 3/10 of a second behind TK. So he's not all over him like a rash at the moment then. And and Curly is off there, and Curly is off there. Oh goodness me, and he's coming back on the circuit. What a shame there for Curly. A 5-second penalty for Steve. And oh goodness me, and Curly's made a mistake there in Dunlop, and yes, I think he's just went wide there. Oh, and Billet's off as well at Dunlop. It's a precarious corner there, and we have lost 2 cars go off there. Free as Steve has also got a 5-second penalty as well. Oh my goodness me, Curly, who's on a magnificent race then, his job down the order then, and that is the third. That is a free drivers have had issues there. Oh my goodness me, young Tommy then, the game is killing me. He's lagging everywhere. I think I crashed out Beefy there. Oh goodness me then. So young Tommy has may have crashed out Beefy there. I've got to say that's very honest of you, my dear boy. Very good stuff indeed. Then from young Tommy, I wouldn't have admitted that, but that's me. Then, so do not, so really do not do that. Of course, honestly, it's the best policy, isn't it? TK is at the fast up the race now in the Alpha Alfa Romeo. I'm in the wrong Alpha now, ain't I? FIFA Farfare, it's gone up into 9th position. He passes Ayrton, who's dropped down to 10th, but Ayrton is on course at some point. He just needs to keep it going at this stage. the proceedings. Ayrton says, yes, we're only on lap 4, but Ayrton then, of course, is battling the relegation zone to keep himself into silver, in silver for next season. Curly in the pits, he's just made it back to the pits, hasn't he, Curly has, and what a shame then. And we got yellow flags that, oh no, Ayrton's off the circuit, he's dropped down to 12th position. Has he damaged the car? Ayrton has there, and oh my goodness me, every time I say something nice, then something goes untoward, doesn't it? So that's not good. Wilson now is right behind Gordo there. Wilson, who I gotta say is not made no bones about it in this race there. He's not a fan of this track, is he? But at the moment, Wilson is on course for some good points at the moment, so he just needs to keep that one going. Troy's all over the back of BP, isn't he now? And Troy would like to win the championship in style here tonight, and he can do that in style as well if he wins tonight the Japanese Grand Prix. All he needs is 1 point. He needs just a top 10 finish to be crowned the third era silver champion. And look at this, and he is quite close to the back of BP. He is in the DRS range as well, on board then with Troy. It's a shame next we'd love to have our Gamer and Troy go head to head for the championship battle all the way down. And I think that if Gamer was racing a couple more races in the lap party season, then I think that this championship would have definitely have carried on till at least till at least Mexico, maybe in Brazil or even in Abu Dhabi. Then we got a Red Bull offense. Steers had some issues again there. Steers having a nightmare race then, and he's having some issues there in qualifying as well. There's a problem with the setup, I think, for Steve's Red Bull there, but it's unfortunate in part for him now. Anyway, well, we ain't now technically, because if you really want to, you could come in and change your setup, but it would take so long that it'll probably be Maldonado's off the circuit there as well. Oh my word, they're having all cars are going off the road. Slayer had a fast out race. She recovers in 12th position there. Oh my word, there it's Maldonado then just needs to cool those tires. However, she's going to spin again if she ain't careful there, and that's unfortunate, isn't it, for Maldonado? Also in a strong 6th position, I think she was, before she spun out there. And goodness me, then these S's and the Dunlop is really causing all kinds of problems here tonight in the race. And currently no retirements thus far. Then of course we had a safety car in the last stage of last night's Grand Prix. However, at the moment then we've had no virtual safety car or safety car either. Slayer set the fast out of the race, and he's on the soft tires. Slayer, so he's got to do another stop, because I don't think those soft tires are going to get to the end from here. So that's a bit unfortunate. Look at this queue of cars then just in front of Farf at the moment. We got Murphy 7/10 second up the road. Then we've got Wilson, who's 8/10 second up the road, and then it's Gordo, who is in front of us at the moment. And Gordo is the cork in the bottle. Troy is now getting in on the back, and look at this, Troy is in the slipstream as well, but BP is very much putting his toe down as he comes across the line there. So that's what BP needs to do at the moment now. And BP going for his first Grand Prix win of his ALR career. So BP there is going to be feeling the pressure. He has, oh goodness me, Steve has had some issues again there. Oh my word there, and Steve is out of the Grand Prix. And a miserable day for Steve in the Red Bull, unfortunately, and he is out. It's a virtual safety car in this race, and they've got to adhere to the Delta time indeed then. So that's a shame for Steve, isn't it? Really, it was going from bad to worse. So now Slayer comes into the pits. I'm thinking might go on to the going on to the hard tires here in the race. Indeed he is, and the Mercedes mechanics then getting to work. And Mercedes currently not scoring any points, and they need, and of course Renault can't win the championship today, but they can potentially win it going into the United States Grand Prix in a week's time, of course. And there's Curly on the other side of the pit wall then, and he is just got past us as well. Young Tommy also going to be on the hard tires until the very end. Back on board with BP at the moment. The race leader is the second pole position of his career in Japan. Farf has got a drive-through penalty, and that is not good, is it? I think Slayer's got one as well. Let's take a look at the penalties. No, it's a 3-second penalty for Slayer, but Farf has got a drive-through penalty. He's going to be kicking himself there. Farf has had a great start to the Grand Prix, and now it's no, that ain't going to be very good at all, is it? From Farf's point of view, then look at Murphy then, as he is now starting to really catch up to Gordo and to Wilson as well. As we come into the triangle chicane there, Murphy's on a great start to the Japanese Grand Prix. Remember, he's runner-up in silver last season, wasn't he? Murphy was there, and he was into gold, wasn't he? Before with the Alfa Romeo, did a good. He's had a good season at the beginning of the season. Murphy was there, but unfortunately had to step back to other commitments as well. But it's good to see Murphy driving here tonight as well. As just got Farf, who is in the pits as well. Maldonado then, who is just at the edge of the pit, edge of the wall there, isn't she? And so it's now we've got FIFA. Look at how much Farf has lost. He's dropped all the way down into 13th position now, hasn't he? Murphy is all over the back now of Wilson like a rash. So Wilson there, he cannot. What Wilson cannot do here is start to drive with his mirrors. Of course, Dan's going to do wonders for the AlphaTauri in the joint constructors. Indeed, he is there, isn't he? So AlphaTauri is really struggling in that silver this season, haven't they? So both their drivers then are near the foot of the table, aren't they? With Baz also in the relegation zone as well now, but Baz hasn't raced in the last 3 or 4 races, unfortunately. Of course, they won last week, didn't they, with Banana Man? A great debut performance of Banana Man. Really impressive stuff. Murphy is really on the tailgate now of Wilson and everything. Goodness gracious me, that Murphy is pushing him through Spoon. Murphy has got the pace, hasn't he, over Wilson. And I think Wilson will be very happy with this race so far. 20 laps to go. He is in 6th position there. And I think he's doing a mighty fine job, isn't he, Wilson? It's good stuff indeed. Ayrton in 10th position and in the over AlphaTauri as well. Unfortunately, we've lost the Wilson's teammate, Steve Al Grand Prix, unfortunately. Already at this juncture, which is such a shame, isn't it? Murphy's got a 3-second penalty though. I gotta say, Murphy is in the last couple of races has had a lot of penalties, doesn't he? He's a man who doesn't get many penalties usually, Murphy, but lately he has been racking them up, hasn't he? Oh my word, there. So Murphy there very much being a bit more aggressive there in terms of his racecraft. Of course, so. It may also be down there to the fact that he is behind a car in the dirty air. Only Murphy and Slayer have got penalties, and then Farf is back out in third division. He had a drive-through penalty. FIFA, who we think him and young Tommy came to blows then, and that's why FIFA's down 12th position, but he's still not too far away from the points there. So it's not all done and dusted yet for the Ferrari at the moment, where Nigel in 4th position as well is closest rival in terms of the bar for third in the championship. New Pateo is not in this race, and he tried to come in the race there. Unfortunately, that didn't go well at all, did it, for New Potato then as he joined, but unfortunately he broke the section there, which is not very good, was it? We're going back to the lead, which is here then, which is between BP and Troy as well. It's a shame that BP is he's been the silver for quite a long period of the season, honestly, but I think if he's in it from the start, this would have been a great championship battle between BP, Gamer and Troy, wouldn't it? That would have been an absolute classic to watch them throughout the season there, and I think we've been robbed of the two talented drivers that are going head to head then. But we can very much enjoy this on one of the best racetracks in the world is this Japanese Grand Prix. It's old school, isn't it? As we've already seen there, some of the drivers are really struggling there with their setups there. They're having to They've got not much rear downforce going up into the S as well, but they need a lot of. They don't need too much downforce there. Going into the start finish straight down into the 130R, and of course that's where they want a very skinny rear wing, then, don't they? But of course you need a lot of downforce at this part of the track here. And look at this, Murphy is now pushing Wilson once again. Is he going to push him into a mistake as well? Wilson, a very experienced campaigner now in ALR Silver, isn't he? This is his 45th Grand Prix start tonight, which is absolutely good stuff indeed. That Sirius Mushroom in 9th position, showing that he's very experienced as well. Sirius Mushroom is starting his 60th Grand Prix starts tonight as well. Good stuff indeed there for Sirius Mushroom there. 60 Grand Prix in total for silver, because Sirius Mushroom has driven in every single one of them so far. Sirius Mushroom has so good innings indeed. Murphy there almost going to the back of Maldonado's had some issues then at Dunlop then, and she's just recovering now then, but luckily I think Maldonado has not damaged the car then, so she's going to have to she is just keeping just getting those tires back into a reasonable temperature as well. But Farf is not too far behind. Is Farf going to have a go into the Kobayashi chicane? Not quite then for Farf then, so but he will be very interested for getting past Maldonado then on this lap, on the next lap perhaps then. BP is very much under pressure at the moment, but BP is quick where he needs to be then. So at the moment, what's Troy going to do then? Because at the moment, he's struggling to overtake BP. So is he going to go for the undercut? And when is the undercut going to be in the window? Of course, if he does go for the undercut, he should take the lead. But remember, he has to get those tires to the end then. So you can't go too early, and you can't go too late either, can you? So that is the game that the front runner is going to be playing at the moment. TK is not too far. Oh, my word there. Gordo just chopped my nose off there as he completely smashed my face off. Oh, my word there. Wilson 2/10 of a second behind Gordo now. He is the pursuer, he's gone from the hunter, he's gone from the hunted to the hunter now. And look at this, and so Gordo is 4 seconds back at the moment, but he is doing a good job then to keep within the limits there of Nigel there, isn't he? He's only 4 seconds away from Nigel, as just now back on board now with Wilson there. Farf is putting pressure on Maldonado as well. Gordo going a bit wide then as we go out of the second Degner then, and now Wilson then is very close there. He's less than a 2/10 second away. He's got going to have a look into the hairpin. He's going for it. Gordo's gone wide then. He sends that sense overtake coming in, but Gordo, oh goodness me, is banging wheels then. Coming out of the hairpin as well. And Murphy is just sitting back, and the wild fox into Murphy is now. I think this is 117th Grand Prix start or 18th Grand Prix start in ALR history. Oh, it's Wilson there, his house spinning there, and Murphy there he's too far back. Murphy was there. Otherwise, he would have got the job done, wasn't he? As he fly past again as they come up into the 130R. No DRS up here just yet. As we go now into the 130R as well, on board with Murphy. Of course, a multiple Grand Prix winner in a silver. Is he going to have a lunge there going into the triangle chicane? Not quite then. Now accelerating away. Troy is too far back at the moment, isn't he? So he's further back than he was the last lap then. So I wonder what Troy is going to do then. Is he going to go for the overcut or the undercut? I think that the undercut has to be the way to go, doesn't it, for Troy? If from my point of view, anyway. Murphy is having a little bit. Wilson there once again. Is not yielding. Is he good stuff indeed there from Wilson and from Gordo as well, and from Murphy as well. These are great battle, great balling here from Gordo, Wilson, and Murphy. Absolutely amazing stuff indeed. Loving this then as we are now going over the S's once again. Far still struggling behind that. Well, not at the moment. It's really difficult to overtake around here, isn't it? So as the silver drivers are showing it, because you need a quite an impressive advance in terms of pace and to overtake around here, I would say. And because the silver drivers are so finely matched, then this is one of the race there where they might struggle. Then FIFA at the moment then is 5 seconds away from Ertz then, but it's now Maldonado and Farf who is now queuing behind FIFA as well. And there's Bradfield in the background there, 2.5 seconds away then, and Bradfield is inching up behind this as well. So we're going to have a 4-car party, I think, at the end of this one. Oh, good stuff indeed then. Murphy then is just running too wide, then come back to the lead as well then. So we're coming over the crossover as well then. Here is Troy then just pushing. He doesn't have to win the Grand Prix, but he's a racer. He wants to win the Grand Prix, doesn't he? Of course, because Renault still need to win the Constructors Championship, of course, and that's job not done. But both Mercedes are not in the championship points at the moment, are they? Sam saying Gordo, stop cutting the grass then and burn that rubber then. Gordo is definitely burning rubber at the moment, isn't he? Into the pits there comes Wilson, so he is the first driver to really roll the dice then on the undercut then. So Wilson then was just been sitting back. He's had enough then. He's coming in the pits now. Let's see where he puts himself then. And back to this battle here then. And look at this then. Maldonado then just kicking up a bit of dirt as well then. So Wilson is the first to drive to come in the pits. He is on the hard tires, Wilson is there. So I'm wondering what the other drivers are going to do. Are they going to go into the soft then? Because I think that maybe the top runners might actually try and go on the soft tires. Lovely shot here. I love that shot, by the way. It's just a beautiful, serene, picturesque picture, isn't it? Through turn 1 and 2 as well. Just watching Murphy as well. But we're going to go back to this battle here, which is between BP and Troy. I'm loving this battle here. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed there. Favre is also Favre. We got another battle between Renault and a Pink Panther, which is Favre and Welsh Maldonado as well. And so, goodness me then. So yeah, very good stuff indeed. And these two teams will not be in ALR next season. They'll be the Aston Martin and the Alpine cars then. So they'll be so it'll be the pink car become the beautiful racing green car, and the yellow car will become the Alpine blue car, which is a very lush blue as well, isn't it? So looking forward to be commentating on those. And Tommy is off the circuit there. Oh, goodness me. And Tommy then, who's having a nightmare second week in a row. He's been absolutely quick as a cucumber. Quick as a hiccup then in the in qualifying. But in the race there, it just hasn't come to fruition, has it? For young Tommy, unfortunately. And look at Gordon then. He's trying to break the slipstream into the pits. There comes TK. He's on the hard tires as well then. And Murphy there's just run out of straight then, going into turn 1 as well. What about Maldonado then? Maldonado is, I'm not sure. I thought she was going to the pits then. And TK, is he going to be out in front of this battle? They are going to be out in front of this battle. Ayrton there is in 8th position, so he's just behind Serious Mushroom at the moment then, as they go into turn number 1 there. Sorry, I got to wipe the sweat on my eyes. Oh, goodness me. Troy is stalking BP at the moment there from Cardboy. He is, isn't he? As he is just sat there as well, just waiting, isn't he, for him? They're waiting for him to roll the dice there. And just seeing what strategy is going to go on there. BP at the moment has never won a Grand Prix in his silver career, but he is looking very strong at the moment. But he has got to beat the man who's been the cream of the crop in silver this season, the man who is on course to become the 3rd ever silver world champion, which is Troy, of course. Then he is not too far away now, is he? With just over half the race to go. And half the race to go here in Japan. But look at this, and there's Troy once again is pushing on. Then into the pits comes young Tommy now. Young Tommy in the pits there for the Williams team. Oh, Troy, they're almost going into the back of that racing point. There's Nigel on the background there in the on the medium tires. Farf has got a 3-second penalty. Penalties have been lacking a moment. It's only Farf. Oh my word! There we got a. Farf has had some issues there, and Wilson having to overtake them. Farf is dropping down the order into the pits. There comes Nigel. He is thrown on the hard tyres. Nigel has it. Murphy is all on the back of Gorda. Murphy's going for it. He's into turn one. Oh yes, sir. Murphy is past Gorda. Moves up into full position there. Job done there for Murphy. He is. Oh, Wilson's got a 5-second penalty there. Oh, for Oh my goodness me, Ayrton's is Ayrton overtaken? No, he hasn't. I thought Ayrton overtook TK then, but TK has just come in the pits and he's going in front of Nigel now. Unfortunately, Gordo then has been overtaken, but Murphy is now 10 seconds away, and Gordo is still within the 3-second mark, so he can still overtake, Murphy. So it's not all done and dusted yet. Oh no, Maldonado's off the circuit there, and she just about keeps out of wall then, but struggling to keep these cars on the circuit here tonight. Well, Wilson's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. And I think that those yellow flags were caused by Farf, so I think Farf might have to be slapped with a wet fish there, wouldn't he? As Wilson would definitely will not be approving on that one. Wilson's on the fresh hard tyres now then, and he doesn't want to be stuck behind Maldonado for too long there. Maldonado's done 13 laps on the medium tyres, and so Wilson needs to get by quite quickly at this stage of the race. TK is very close to the back of Ayrton then, but TK is just looking there, but no Dyson Moan, and Ayrton is on the medium tyres doing a strong race. Ayrton is Serious Mushroom is having a cracking race in 6th position as well. Bradfield on an amazing race there. It's Troy and oh my gosh, that snuck up. Oh, Troy is still 10 for a second behind Ayrton. We've got TK who's through, passes Ayrton, and moves up into, oh my goodness me, Nigel having a look up the inside there. Oh goodness me, that. And of course, oh my word there, Ayrton is quite synonymous down in that chicane down there, is of course where Ayrton and Prost came to blows in the 1989 Japanese Grand Prix. This time, though, they got through the chicane a bit more successfully than those two, but back in 89 now. Maldonado, look at this, Maldonado's got a lot of straight line speed, and she is a past Farfa going into turn one there. That's amazing maneuver there as we just caught the end of the fan. She slows the car down nicely, then Farfa is still behind Maldonado in 13th position there. Great battle between these two in 13th and 12th position at the moment. Good stuff indeed. We've got a lot of good battles out there, haven't we? This is really entertaining stuff indeed. Look, here's the battle for the lead still. I gotta say, I'm torn between the midfield and the front runners. It's absolutely brilliant stuff indeed, isn't it? This is very much edge of your seat kind of drama. Lap 15 out of 27. Is Troy going to come in the pits? And I've knocked my headset off. 1 second. Oh, so there we go. Is Troy going to come into the pits then? Or is he on this lap then? Or is he going to start then? He's just having a look. I think he was just feigning there to see what BP would do. But now then, TK as Troy is and BP both staying out at the moment. Troy is just happy to stay behind at the moment, isn't he? I think if he overtakes then he might be able to disappear down the road. Troy is at the moment, but as it stands out, it's very much a status quo, isn't it? Nigel is now right up on the gearbox now. TK, I think that TK went for the undercut on Nigel, and that was successful. That's how powerful the undercut is. Because I think it's about a second between these two. So yes, then you got it's too late to react then if they come in the pits there before you then. So that is what you've really got to think about here. And I think that so if Troy came in the pits the last lap, he would have got through that. TK is dropped down behind Nigel now. Nigel up in the first 7th position. Good stuff indeed then. Got Carboy saying if TK and Nigel get on with it, they could be the they could be the leaders then. They could be the leaders after Troy and BP stops that, because they look like they're going for soft set. I think they are, aren't they? I think the top, a lot of the drivers who stayed out of the pits there on the medium tyres are going for the soft tyres into the end of the race. We've got Sam saying Troy and BP will stop on this lap, or lap 17 then, for the soft tyres. And yes, and that is about the ballpark, isn't it? Where they're going to come in the pits then. So is Troy going to stay out there and try for the overcut? He might not need to, because he's got the lead there. He has taken the lead lead. I apologise, I've missed it there. And we got Bradfield, who's very close to the back. So Troy takes the lead in the Japanese Grand Prix. Now, is he going to come in the pits? And he's done the job before you go into the pits. And he accelerates away. And Troy is in the pits. And so is BP as well. This is a crucial part of the race. And my word, then, as they're trying to slow down as well. So Troy in the pits. And I'm going to give it on Nigel. And TK. And it's a Maldonado is just off into far fence. Soft tires for the Renault team then. And of course, then, like clockwork, and they the gold Constructors World Champions then. I know they are not too far from being the Silver Constructors Champions as well. But let's see then. And yes, I think the Nigel and TK are quite far behind still. There's Serious Russia over the second position. Bradfield leads the Japanese Grand Prix. And yeah, they're still in front then, aren't they? So so Troy leads the Grand Prix. TK in a second position then. And we've got Wilson there. Ayrton there is in the pits. Then we've got a 3-second penalty for young Tommy. Then we got Murphy then, who's on the soft tires. Then he's got a bit of clear air now, hasn't he? Murphy has. And Wilson and Murphy have got out in front of Gordo. So Gordo's on the soft tires now, though. So let's see what he can do. Curly in 10th position. He doesn't need to come in the pits again. Ayrton's on the cusp of the points there. We got Slayer going on the inside then. Slayer's on the inside. Passes FIFA. That's not what FIFA wanted. FIFA probably would have wanted a clear track there. To get after Ayrton as well, but unfortunately that's not the case, is it? Bradfield leading the Grand Prix, but look, here's Troy and here's BP as well, because we've got Serious Musher in front there, so this is where BP needs to strike now, isn't it? With Troy trying to get past Serious Musher, and Serious Musher is struggling now for those tyres, isn't it? Wilson and Gordo are fighting, but look at this, and Gordo's going to go on the outside here. Where is he? Oh, goodness gracious me. And look at this, and look left, there he is there, he is through, he passes Wilson. I'm into Spoon as well. Troy's got past Serious Musher into the 130 order, and he is now up into third position there, and BP needs to get past as well. Now Gordo, yellow flag, and that's the Haas car Billa then, and into the pits comes Serious Mushroom then. So Serious Mushroom going in the pits. Bradfield is staying out for one more lap then, and I wonder if the front runners are going to catch up to Bradfield then. Towards the end of the start. So Serious Mushroom in the pits then. Murphy has now propelled himself into a very solid 6th position, which is good for the AlphaTauri team then. Really good stuff indeed then. Gordo in 7th position there. Wilson 8th position then. Serious Mushroom has just been released in at 9th position now. So this is a great race for Serious Mushroom. Now remember, Mushroom won this race last season, and he loves the Japanese Grand Prix circuit, doesn't he? As he seems to go very well around there. Curly in 10th position there. Ayrton 11th. We've got 12th position there. So we've got yellow flags as one of the racing points. BP is off the circuit, and BP is off the circuit. He's gone off into Dunlop. It's a safety car. It's a safety car. And Bradfield is going to be grinning from ear to ear. Oh, BP is out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh, he's on his second pole position, but he's out. He is out then. Look, his car is buried into the tire barrier there on the right-hand side. What a shame there for... What a shame now for BP on a strong race, wasn't he? And he was very much repelling the attack, wasn't he, of Troy? But tonight, Troy seems to have the legs, didn't he? And Dylan is saying that Bradfield is going to love this, and that's our second retirement in the Grand Prix. But it's in the pits then as well. And for the Haas team, then we've also got young Tommy coming in the pits. Well, Bradfield, then he is going to really be, as we said, that he is going to be smiling from ear to ear. And as he is coming into the pits, the McLaren driver is then, and Bradfield, then I got to say, I'm going to ask Bradfield for the lorry numbers, because he is I gotta say he's very much on a very lucky night then, but sometimes you rather be lucky than good then, and but Bradfield is both, and as he comes out of the pits there, and away goes Nigel in the pits. TK also in the pits as well. Murphy is on the course then, getting a podium for the AlphaTauri team there. Good stuff indeed there for Murphy. He could be in second here. Murphy is going to be in second there. Look, he is in second there. Bradfield is coming out of the pits. Where's Gordo? Gordo's going to be on the podium. He is on the podium at the moment now. Going in to turn one. Bradfield in 4th. Nigel 5th. 6th position is TK. Wilson is coming to the pits and as he is now coming out of the pits. Curly in the pits while Ayrton's going to stay out there. So where is Ayrton going to come out then? So Ayrton is now then, and Slayer's got a 5-second penalty. Ayrton in 8th position then, and FIFA in 9th position then. Wilson is in 10th position. Curly then could potentially get some major points here now, can he? As the McLaren is just stuck there. I think now it's the Mercedes who is no, he isn't. He's in front of the Mercedes. And Slayer in 40th position now. BPSF position now. He's going to be very disappointed that then. Young Tommy has been lapped, unfortunately, then, so that's the end of young Tommy's race, unfortunately, as He's unfortunately unfortunately young Tommy has been out there. Unfortunately, we just seen that Wilson's penalty might need removing now, as he did have a 5-second I think he did have a 5-second penalty, didn't he, Wilson did, but I think he must have served it in the pits. Troy leads the Grand Prix. Murphy is up in the second position, but he does have a 3-second penalty. Murphy does and Alpha Tower in the last 2 weeks had a win last week, and this week they could be on course there for a second position. This is a very good stuff indeed. That Murphy in the second position, Gordo is in third, Bradfield is in fourth position, Nigel in fifth position, TK is sixth, Serious Mushroom in seventh position, Ayrton in eighth, and FIFA in ninth, Farf in 10th position, Maldonado in 11th. Wilson in 12th position, Curly in 13th, Slayer in 14th, Bill in 15th, Tommy in 16th, and BP out of the race with Steve out of the race as well. What a shame there for BP, as he was absolutely. He was absolutely doing a great race today, winning for BP. But what a shame now for BP. That is his 5th DNF of the season then, and he had 2 seconds in the last 2 races, didn't he? But unfortunately, he ain't going to be a hat trick now out of the Grand Prix. BP is, and that is a crucial part of this Grand Prix, I feel. Now then, Troy leads, and he's got a second advantage over Dan because young Tommy is very much in the thick of things, and we've got a safety car at this moment. And 16 cars remain. Slayer is back in the pits, and he is now cutting the pits, and he's going to get rid of that 5-second penalty. Slayer is, and he's also going to be on fresh soft tyres. By the looks, he is on fresh tyres now until the end of the race. And quality laps in order now for Slayer, and he could this is a good opportunity now for Slayer to get himself back into the points after a very difficult race indeed. Then. Oh my word, then absolutely, and this is absolutely incredible racing here tonight, isn't it? Fantastic stuff indeed. Then let's take a quick look at the penalty. Then Murphy has a 5-second penalty, doesn't he? No, he only has a 3-second penalty. I'm just made up as I go along now. Young Tommy 3-second penalty, Slayer 3 seconds, Far 3 seconds, and Murphy 3-second penalties, and that is the penalty state. Said at the moment Troy has got no penalties. Is at the moment he's on course to win the World Championship. Then we have 4 Grand Prix with 4 Grand Prix to go. Then Wilson says in between Maldonado and Curly again. Oh no, that is I gotta say, I have to close my eyes when those three comes to blows. Then, oh goodness me, that's very much going to be very entertaining racing, isn't it? Safety car is out. I think he'll be out for another lap then, and then we'll go racing once again. Now let's take stock, shall we? So Troy leads the Grand Prix, and as it stands, and he will be the world champion of a silver, then, and he will be the 3rd ever world champion in ALR. Good stuff indeed. Then. Second position is Murphy. Then great performance today for Murphy. He may have lucked into the safety car to a certain degree, but still, to get yourself up there, a great stuff indeed there for Murphy. Gordo having a fantastic job indeed. They just need to save him 3 seconds of Murphy, and he'll be on the second position once again. Gordo he's having a fine season. He's been my driver of the season. 4th position is Bradfield. What a performance for Bradfield there. From 12th position on to 4th at the moment now. Bradfield is safety cars in the end of the that. It's caught me off guard. We're going racing again now. Now Troy then hasn't got much time to think about this. So when's going to drop the hammer then? It's very difficult to overtake around here, isn't it? So let's go then. Troy then is backing him up. Then he does not want to give anyone as slipstream as least as possible. Where he's dropped the hammer. We're going again then, and look, it's a good stuff indeed there for young Tommy to get right away. Yes, he is a ghost car, but that's still good. That's still very good indeed there from Gordo. From young Tommy as well. Bradford in a fourth position, I think he is. And I say. Farford is right underneath. Oh, goodness me, then. And look at this. And Farford's trying to overtake then. Farford's off. He's off. And he's in the wall. But those racing points are built quite strong, aren't they? In the Silverstone base factory. And Ayrton is now under the caution, isn't he? As Serious Mushroom's just in front of us. Serious Mushroom on a seriously good Grand Prix, isn't he? And Ayrton there is got one in the first deck. Then for trying to go off and under. Now we've got Maldonado who's all over the back of FIFA. FIFA had to get out of it. Wilson's also involved as well. Wilson's up the inside. There he is. And look at this. And it's getting very hair and scared. Murphy is half a second back then. As Wilson there. As getting his arms out. Maldonado. Oh my gosh. She's in the wall. She's out in the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me. It's a virtual safety car. And wow. That was horrific, wasn't it, there for Maldonado? Maldonado. She seems to be involved in some major incidents here in ALR, and unfortunately, it's another one as well for Maldonado. And Renault are going to be a bit disappointed on that one, as it was getting a bit brutal there. But Maldonado out of the race, and Wilson said it before the safety car came out. Before the safety car came in, I stated that it never usually ends well. Unfortunately, that hasn't ended well at all, has it, for Maldonado? Now we're back racing. No, we ain't, not yet. And there's Favre dropping down to the back of the field now as well. As I'm back on board now with FIFA Beef at the moment, so it's a virtual safety car. Let's hope that no one gets any drive-through penalties as we go back races again. Curly is on the cusp of getting some points here today then. As we just got Carboy saying Wilson just assassinated Maldonado there. My goodness me, it was a very frightening incident there for Maldonado. She does have some spectacular incidents, doesn't she? Well, Maldonado, but that is such a shame now. It really is. She's been off a couple. She's been off twice in this race, but yeah, she found herself on the cusp of points, so she had a genuine pace around here, and I think she is going to be very unhappy Renault driver, isn't she? Curry's got 3 second penalties to go under the bridge there. Murphy is now putting pressure on Troy. Murphy is putting pressure on Troy as well, coming into the COBALT airpin. Curly, oh my goodness me, that's a Mercedes trying to sneak up the inside. I think young Tommy's also involved as well. Young Tommy is a lap down, unfortunately. Otherwise, I think he'd be really enjoying this battle here, won't he? Between these cars, and my goodness me, it is getting very good indeed. Then we got Ayrton then, who is now going to have to repel the offences of FIFA and Wilson then, if he wants to stay in those points. And those are valuable points as well for Ayrton here tonight. Of course, had a great race here in Silver last season, didn't he? Ayrton did. I think he finished 7th or 8th position in the wet conditions as well at the moment. And last season, and last year's race winner as well, Sirius Mushroom is currently 7th on the grid at the moment. DRS has now been enabled. Oh my goodness me, Nigel's now all over the back of Bradfield, that is. He is now alongside Bradfield. Tommy has set the fast lap of the race, and yes, Nigel's now up in the 4th position. Next target is Gordo, and TK is also TK's in 6th position, so that's his TK's next target is Bradfield as well. Sirius Mushroom now is gaining on TK. Now we're on board with Ayrton as well, as he was just running slightly wide there, wasn't he? Back on board with Curly at the moment, as he is now pressuring Wilson, with Slayer also all over the back of Curly as well. So we've got a lot of drivers sending. Having a bit of a difficult race earlier on then. It's now back into the back on the cusp of some points here in this race then. And that is and of course that is why you never give up, is anything can happen in this race, and it usually does. Farf has got a 3-second penalty again to, I think he's up to 6 seconds now. So there's a blue flag then, of course blue flags means you'll be in lap then, and it's young Tommy, but young Tommy now is just trying to unlap himself at the one there, as of course he is on a fresh soft tires, isn't he? Young Tommy, who was quick in qualifying there and could have been on the second row of the grid there if he didn't miss that checker flag right at the end, and he's also showing some pace as well. As now Troy has got out of the second almost of Dan Murphy, which means he'll also be out of DRS range as well. That is quite important at this stage. And we got Farf, who is very close to the back of Billet in the battle for 13th and 14th, as both racing points who are looking solid here are going to be getting no points at all. And Curly all over the back of Wilson there. It's getting a bit too hair and scare. Nigel's had the fast lap of the race then, but Nigel then is now stretching his legs. He's all over the back of Gordo in the battle for the final podium as well. 6/10 of a second between TK and Bradfield. It's not going to be done this lap then, but it may be done the next couple of laps or so. FIFA is all over the back of Ayrton, but he does run slightly wide then. This is the battle we're keeping our eyes peeled then. 4 laps to go in this race. It is very difficult to overtake around here, isn't it? So Ayrton and co just need to keep their heads in the game, don't they? Same with Bradfield, same with Gordo as well, as those drivers are also coming under attack as well with just a couple of laps to go. And so Wilson are taking liberties with the outside track there. Goodness me then. That could have been Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty. No, goodness me. That is not good, is it, there for the race winner of the Italian Grand Prix. That is a big blow indeed then, because that is potentially could end his hopes of points maybe, or say answer that Curly has penalties, and so does Slayer as well, but that means that now that FIFA Wilson don't need to overtake that. On board with TK then, he is 7/10 of a second back in the road, but Nigel is closer to Gordo. There he is then. Look, Murphy is tailgating, and Troy is still in the battle for the lead as well, with just 25, 26 and 27 to go, and they fly through the 130R again then. Nigel then is going to get another podium here if he can get past Gordo then, and this will be Nigel's 5th podium of the season. He's really enjoyed it in Silver. He had a very disappointing season Hamilton in gold last season, and he's very much his renaissance this season as well in silver. Good stuff indeed there for Nigel. He's having a look going on the outside down to turn 1. TK has got past Bradfield, moved up into the 5th position. Bradfield down to 6th, but it's a strong performance for the McLaren driver today, and good stuff indeed there for Bradfield then. He's now got 1.5 second gap between himself and Sirius Mushroom then. So Sirius Mushroom is going to have to close that gap with 3 laps to go if he wants to. If Sirius Mushroom there wants to, if Sirius Mushroom wants to get into the DRS and potentially overtake Bradfield, but catches one thing, passing is quite enough for, as the great Mario Walker used to say, more often than not. Farf is having a nightmare race, isn't he? Both racing points have come a cropper there, and Farf is dropped down the order and down into, unfortunately, he's down into a 14th position there, and I feel that has ended his hopes of maybe getting some points in this race. So that is a big blow indeed there for Farfen at the later stage of this Grand Prix. Cardboy saying that Gordo is defending really well. He is indeed, isn't he? Nigel has the legs over Gordo, but Gordo is positioning his car absolutely splendidly well, isn't he? Good stuff there from Gordo, and he's got a very quick car in the straight line, hasn't he? Gordo has. Murphy, remember, has a 3-second penalty at the moment. Gordo was potentially on course for getting second position here tonight in the Alpha Tower, but Murphy, that's why he's pushing. But at the moment, he's got a Renault in front of him, Murphy has, and Gordo just needs to stay within that 3 second. As oh no, Ayrton's off the circuit there, and he's dropped down the order. Ayrton has, and that is crucial in his championship campaign. As we got Nigel and Gordo fighting as well. Look, Gordo's going to run him out of road, is he? Very gentlemanly there for Gordo, but goodness me, and a snap of oversteer there for the Fry, and but Gordo there is losing a bit of time. He's up to 2.4 seconds now as well on lap 26 out of 27. Bradfield is called back up to the back of TK as well. Wilson's propelled himself into 8th position there. Curly in 9th, Slayer in 10th. Billett is not too far away from the points here, so Billett could get himself some major points here tonight. Ayrton in position, FIFA in 12th then. Farfair in the pits then, and Farfair figures not going to get any points here, unfortunately. Troy's now broke the DRS range, hasn't he? Good stuff indeed then. So we've just got 2 more laps to go to the Japanese Grand Prix, and the final positions are still very much up in the air, aren't they? We've got 2 more laps to go then. Nigel then, he would love to get the final podium. At the moment, he is getting the final podium there because he is just within a whisker of Murphy in that 3-second penalty. That might cost Murphy a podium here tonight then as well, as we're coming over the crest today. Murphy has not had a podium yet in silver so far this season, so this will be his first podium in his reserve role in a silver tonight. And if he can keep within the keep outside the 3-second window, which Nigel and Gordo has got him on there. So Nigel could be looking on the looking at second position here if he can get past Gordo. This is final attempt then to go to overtaking the turn 1 as well. Nigel's coming. He's on the outside then, but Gordo has placed his car nicely, and that gap was always going to close there. It has closed there, and Gordo is still in a third position there. And Finn now, Gordo then, he just needs to keep his head now, doesn't he, for the final up at the Japanese Grand Prix to get a incredible third position on the third position as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Manada saying she's just been RKO'd, slam dunked, neck twisted into the wall by Jake. It was a brutal smash indeed, wasn't it? As I was saying earlier on, Becca, that you seem to be involved in a lot of huge shunts, don't you? Incredible. I gotta say, that might be crash of the season, and oh goodness me, no, that's going to be an award, isn't it? Hopefully, I reckon we should do one of those personally. There we go. Well, I don't think the admins would be too fond of that idea, though, will they? Curly is very close to the back of Curly at the moment. Billa is now almost outside that 3-second window then, so Billa is could potentially get a point here, which would be good stuff indeed there for both the Haas cars then, as we're now coming up to the final stage of the Grand Prix then. This is the last lap, and here is Troy, and then Troy here in the Japanese Grand Prix. This is a historic venue for winning championships, isn't it? And Troy is going to be the 3rd ever silver champion. He's out of final turn, and Troy is the world champion of ALR Silver. He has done it with 4 races to go. A magnificent performance there from Troy. He is the world champion of ALR Silver. Oh, magnificent stuff indeed then. Renault have won 3 championships then with 4 races to go. Wow, what a season for the Renault team before they turn into the Alpine team for next season. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Troy. He is going to be absolutely on cloud 9 as well. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed there. Gordo finishes 2nd in the end. 2/10 a second in front of Murphy. Oh, Murphy was 700 a second in front of Nigel. So Murphy's first podium of the season as well. Then Slayer just about gets in 10th position with Curly getting 9th then in the end. Oh my goodness me, Farf is the final driver to come across the line as well. Absolutely magnificent stuff. The Bullet very close then to getting into the top 10 and just outside the points in the end, Bullet was. So that's a shame for the Haas team. He was very close, but no cigar. But there he is, Troy! Nope, that's Dan Murphy who's started today, but it's Troy who is going to be on everyone's lips at the end of this one. He is the world champion of ALR. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Troy. He is going to be over the moon now. Third ever silver world champion indeed. Then his 8th Grand Prix win of the season, his 11th podium of the season as well. This man then has only failed not to score in 2 race days, not DNF'd at all this season, has he, Troy? Magnificent stuff. Worthy world champion indeed then. And very impressive indeed. Looking forward to see what Troy can do in gold next season as well. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be magnificent, isn't it? Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from the Japanese Grand Prix. And here it is then. Troy won the Grand Prix then from second on the grid, then a magnificent performance there. Gordo in second position, that's his 3rd podium of the season, and Gordo has been magnificent, hasn't he? Really impressive stuff indeed. Murphy getting driver of the day in 3rd position there. I think he's going to be up for that there. Nigel in 4th position there. He was 700 a second away from getting that podium there, but Nigel in 4th then and taking more points out of himself and out of himself a new potato then. So good stuff indeed. TK in 5th, 6th is Bradfield, great drive from Bradfield. Serious Mission, brilliant drive in 7th with Wilson 8th, Curry in 9th, and Slayer in 10th position with 4 stops. My goodness me. Billy just outside the points in 11th position. FIFA 12th, Ayrton 13th, Far 14th, Young Tommy 15th. Retirements was Maldonado, BP, and Steele retired from this Japanese Grand Prix. I'm just on a breather, to be honest. So magnificent stuff then. Right then, so absolutely magnificent, wasn't it? Really was indeed that. And I got to say, that was fairly incredible. It really was indeed, wasn't it? For